Okay, so I thought I'd do a little video after my series of videos about making a beehive from scratch out of rough sawn boards as to whether it was worth it or not. Now I really found it fun making this. I love making anything in wood. It's been my passion. You know, I'm a carpenter of 22 years or more, and I've really enjoyed making this beehive. When I first started doing the beekeeping course, I looked at the national hives, which is what's used around here a lot, and this is a national, and I thought, oh, they don't look easy to make. And then I bought one and assembled it, and I was like, there's a lot of parts for not very much really. And so as I started to make it, I realized, you know, it is quite involved. I needed a full workshop to be able to do it efficiently. And even then, I kind of, you know, weighing up the cost of things, I don't know if it was worth it or not. So I'd say there's some parts of making this hive are worth doing yourself and some parts aren't. So looking in the sales and what you can get, there are some parts that are nearly as cheap as I can get the timber for. That's how cheaply they're producing these hives now. I don't know if it's always been like this or if this is a recent thing, but you know, a brood box and your supers, I really struggle to buy pine timber for the money that you can buy a cedar brood box or a cedar super for. So that's really worth bearing in mind. Do your costs working out. If I put my time into it as well and how much I want to earn per hour, then no way are these parts worth my time in making. Some parts that are worth making, the floors are really easy to make, you know, and you're going to replace the floors more often than you're going to replace the rest of it anyway. And you can mess about with them, make your own designs. So a lot of people have said about how good underfloor entrances are for keeping wasps and mice out. So I might mess about and make some different floors as well, even for the hives I've got, and they're really easy to make. The other thing is the roof. I mean, this bit of folded galvanized tin is about £8, I think. It's not huge amounts of money, and there's not much timber in the actual roof. Bit of ply, some kind of 3x1 rip down. If you've got some woodworking tools, you can really save some money by making those two parts. Crown boards, probably not so much, but you can make them thicker and a bit more sturdy. The other part where you're going to really save some money is making the hive stand. The hive stands I've seen have been a lot of money to have one the same kind of quality and toughness as this one. This one's probably about 30 quid for timber. It's going to last a long time. You can build it to your own specifications, your own size, to fit your own space. It's not hard to make. It's just screws and straight cuts really. So it's not tricky, and it will save you some money and you get what you want. You know, this one, it's got plenty of space for 3 hives on here, and it'll be plenty strong enough. So yeah, much as I'd love to make all my own beekeeping equipment, I need to be realistic about it. I still need to make a living doing what I do normally. And if I'm making beekeeping stuff, I'm not making stuff to sell, and I'm not making any money. So for me, I think once I've made these few hives, it might be the last brood boxes and supers that I make for a little while, but I might carry on making the floors, the roofs and the stands, and kind of build up some of my equipment that way. There's some other more specialist stuff that you can make, you know, with bee escapes and things like that. I'm sure there's some fun things we can make with that, and feeders maybe, but we can line with wax. We can make out of wood. So there's still lots of things I'm going to experiment with making. I made a Warre hive in the past, and that was much easier to make. It looks like commercials are much easier to make as well. So there's, you know, it depends on what you choose. I chose nationals because it's what's been used around here and what the club recommended to start with. Whether I'll carry on with nationals forever, I don't know. But it does seem to be quite a good one to be able to swap equipment with people. It's really common in the UK. I know Langstroth is really popular in the US, so you're probably better off going that way. And I don't know if it's the same over there in the US, if, you know, your brood boxes and your supers are mass produced in such quantities, but it suddenly doesn't, unless you're making a huge amount of them, doesn't become viable to make them yourself. But that being said, there is a huge satisfaction in making a hive completely from scratch. I've really enjoyed the process. And although I've made it in pine, you know, I've made this in Scandinavian redwood, which is quite good outside. Maybe it is better in cedar, but with this linseed oil paint, it will last a long time, especially if I retreat it. Linseed oil paint, you know, the more traditional paints, the reason we've got windows that are 200 years old that have only just started to rot out is because that paint let the timber breathe, it let the moisture out, and didn't seal it up like some of this plastic paint now. It doesn't let any moisture out, kind of seals it, and it rots from the inside. So, you know, treating it, spending a bit more money on your paint, it's better for your bees, better for the environment, and better for your pocket in the long run. But yeah, like I said, I've really enjoyed making this. It's been a really fun project, but cost-wise, I'd have been better off buying one, you know. But it's not all about cost, is it? You know, satisfaction. Kids are gonna say, Dad made that Beehive. Still got to put some frames in this one. Still got to buy the frames. Still got to buy the foundation. You know, there's still quite a bit of sunk costs to go yet until we get this one paying for itself. If you've enjoyed this series of videos, please let me know. And if there's anything else beekeeping that you want me to make or try to make or design, then let me know and I'll try and do it. It could be really good fun. I'm thinking maybe I'll make some nukes next. I think having a selection of 6 or 7 nukes here would be really, really handy. And especially as the girls got big aspirations about our bees next year. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.